ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the We the Locals podcast. My name is Josie.
I'm Jessica.
And we've got Stu pushing button. Oh, starting out strong, all y'all. Pushing buttons in the corner. And my buttons, too, apparently, tonight.
Better than mine.
It's true. Thank you so much for joining us. We know you have a lot of options to listen to and to watch throughout your day. And so we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us as we talk about all things local. If you could please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our episode and our channel, we'd really appreciate it. Maybe take a minute and send it out to a few of your friends, families, neighbors, whoever might be interested in taking a listen. And if you would like to sponsor our podcast, if you're a candidate or a business and you'd like to get your name out there, you can do that by visiting our website. Or if you would just like to give us a few dollars to keep us operating, you can do that as well by donating at our website, and follow all our socials. And tonight is May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Funny story real quick before we jump in. My kids we had piano today, and so the music teacher's at our house, and they're talking about Cinco de Mayo and da-da-da. And my daughter's like, Mexicans don't even really celebrate Cinco de Mayo. And it's very true, because we have some friends who are Mexican, and so when we were kind of newly friends with them, we're like, hey, so Cinco de Mayo. And they're like, what? I'm like, we're coming over. We're having tacos. And they're like, well, okay. They had a party. They were like, we don't do this in Mexico, but we'll do it here because we want to make tacos and hang out with our friends. Like, it's just an excuse to have tacos and tequila. But yeah, so it was really funny. So happy Cinco de Mayo to all our Americans who want to celebrate the Mexican non-holiday.
It's just a reason to get drunk and eat tacos.
Basically, that's what I'm saying. And it falls on a Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
Exactly.
Like, I can't believe this is what we're doing instead of being at a restaurant doing Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo all in one day. It doesn't happen that often.
Right.
But here it is.
Yeah.
So, So hi, Jessica. How are you?
I'm good.
What's new?
I'm a little, if you see me like wince, I did something to my shoulder. So every once in a while it catches me off guard. But
oh no.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt.
I was just going to say, that was you last year.
Yeah, it was me last year.
It's my turn this year.
But it's not broken, right?
No, I don't think so.
You would know.
Yeah. I think it's just more muscular. I had a great 2-hour massage and a facial. Was that last weekend or the weekend before? The weekend before last. And I'm like, this is what I get. I go and pamper myself, and now today, now this week I'm like,
body's taking revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you try to take care of me?
Right?
Crazy lady.
It's always, my body's always rebelled against me.
Isn't that what aging is? It's
Yeah.
just constant fighting against the rebelling of your body against your mind,
true.
where you're like, no, this is what we're doing. Your body's like, this is funny.
Right, exactly. I'll be 49 this year, right? 49?
He's giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, 49. I'll be 49 in October, so I'm like, oh, all right, this is how it starts.
Okay, so let's talk politics. What's new?
So we had redistricting.
Yes, we did. Finally, they got the redistricting. They had to get that passed, but there was enough time for everyone to shuffle around and figure out what they're doing before qualifying, which is a month away.
Right. So qualifying is, I think, June 12th.
Yeah, something like that. Never remember.
And so this was planned. We heard about this over a year ago. I want to say it was probably RPOF first quarter last year that we were really heard the talking about redistricting and the plans ahead. And so there was the pending SCOTUS case with Louisiana about the gerrymandering districts and outlining that.
Racial gerrymandering.
Right.
Gerrymandering is legal and perfectly normal and accepted practice for 250 years. It's by racial discrimination or non-discrimination is where the court case was.
So perfect example of gerrymandering by race would be District 20 in Palm Beach County.
Correct.
So I will try to remember to throw up the maps. So as we're talking about this, you'll
like
be able
old map and new map.
We'll be able to show you. So the old and we had heard, at least a year ago, that they were really looking to take out District 20. Like that was really was the goal, was just to get rid of that gerrymandered district, because it was like west and it cut in through like the center of the county, just like a little sliver. And it was
It encompassed, okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone who watches our show knows Palm Beach County, how big it is. It covered the top of the county to Broward County.
yeah, it
Like-
really did.
That is like a lot of county, a lot of land, and a lot of people. Like, it's not as populated as it is east, obviously, but there's still a lot of people in there.
Well, it's like when you kind of look at it, you're kind of like, why was the map drawn like this to begin with? It doesn't make any sense. And so, we have our Democrat friends that are saying like, oh, this is, the new map is gerrymandered.
It is gerrymandered. It's gerrymandered by party,
Well, actually,
which is how it's supposed to be.
well, that was part into a consideration, but is what was really interesting. So it's like, I mean, while I was working, I was listening to the House committee meeting, and I listened to the Senate committee meeting, and I listened to both chambers pass the bill. And so I should have wrote his name down, but the guy that actually created the maps was from Governor DeSantis's office. So Governor DeSantis knew that this ruling was coming down from SCOTUS. Everything looked really good, that they were going to deem the Louisiana map unconstitutional, which then, based on the parameters that my understanding and what I know is that kind of encompassed District 20. And so it then set the precedent to get this moved. And so for those that don't know, DeSantis is a lawyer. He is an attorney. So
He was a JAG attorney.
right. So this is his wheelhouse. So this is something that he was paying attention to, and he knew if he called the special session, I think he was hoping that the SCOTUS decision would come out just before.
Which it did.
Luckily, so it's like he called the special session, and then it happened like the day of or the day before the House committee. So the governor has the right to be able to put forth a congressional or a new map for the state. He has every ability to be able to do that. So what he did is he contracted a very well-known, very unbiased map creator. His name was John something. But to listen to this guy was so awesome to hear, because he was able to explain, like, he wanted to split up. He wanted to have the condensed in the counties as much as possible, where each congressional district was in a singular county wherever possible. But like Palm Beach County, Miami-Dade County, some of our counties are like really big. So there's, it's easier to do it.
And there's huge population centers leaning towards one end of the county and the other. And it has to be done by population.
Right. And it has to be as compact as possible. And it has to be like 725,000 residents per congressional block or something like that. And he was able to divide the new districts. There is one district that has one less person in it, one less residence. And so it was really funny because Jason Pizzo was like, my mom's moving here. It's all good.
We'll even it up. He's a funny dude.
So he was like, I'm good with that. But it was very clear that the people that were in opposition of this were clearly just playing politics and didn't actually follow the rules and procedures of like...
They didn't have a reason to really object to it.
Correct.
It was more just, I don't want it.
Yeah, this is outside of a census year. And, the Republicans are like, we've done this 4 times before outside of a census year.
And we were cheated in the census anyway.
Correct.
So
correct. And that was also Governor DeSantis's point, is that we should have picked up 3 or 4 more seats. And I think in this, we ended up picking up 4?
I think we picked up 3.
3 or 4. So
I can't remember now.
I can't either. And
although we are predicted in the 2030 census to pick up another 4.
Well, because of the growth that's coming in. And so all of these things with the map creator was, he took all of these things into consideration. And the funniest thing was like, this is a Republican map. This is to be, and he goes, I have no idea who drew the colors on the map. I did not. They're like, well, this new map is all red, and he's like, I don't know who did that.
He's like, I just drew lines and someone else colored it in.
Right. He goes, it was a parameter within some of the aspects to make sure that things were more fair. And so, the House proceeded, and the comments that were like public comment were just, they were talking points, and they were just like regurgitating, like, they all had it on their phone reading
They all had got the talking points ahead of time to say over and over again.
So it was clearly, it wasn't really residents looking to have a say. Like, you could tell. And this is what frustrates me in the county commission too, is people comment, it's like they talk up the Israeli bonds and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can just tell that you're not genuine. So why would our representatives take you seriously and really consider your comment if you're not really being genuine?
Yeah.
And so, some of the representatives, asked the right questions, played along. The Democrats did their Democrat thing, saying that, you're just, we're just pushing this through because the governor wants it. And it was like Senator Gates was like, yes, I'm running the bill because the governor asked me to. He has every right to ask me to do this.
Kind of, I'm sorry. We have this thing called the Florida Constitution, and it kind of outlines the provisions that the governor is able to do. And this is one of them.
Right.
And maybe you should read.
Right. And I have to say, Senator Gates is just amazing. Is he
the Senate, I almost said committee leader. No. Is he
I think he's the Senate leader, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that was Albrecht.
No, he's the Senate president.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, but Gates was very like, this is, DeSantis has every right to do this. When he was asked about the colored lines, he's like, I don't know who did that. And then they're like, well, DeSantis went on Fox News yesterday and released the map before we even had a chance to look at it. And Senator Gates was like, yep, the governor can go on TV and say things to try to get public opinion when he's looking to pass a bill. There's no reason. There's not like, yep, he did that, and he has every right to be able to do that. And there's representatives and senators and governors and presidents that look at public opinion before they or as they're doing something.
Kind of the point.
Yeah,
he's the point. And it's almost like we have a representative government where the elected officials are supposed to actually listen to the residents.
We're going to take this up. He wanted the public involved, so he announced the public that this is what they're doing, and the outpour is that people are in favor of this.
Yep. Other than the canned comments.
Yeah, exactly. And so it went through the House and it passed, I think only like 17 of the Democrats did no or whatever. And then
did Pizzo vote for it? He's a senator, but
he voted against. And the reason why he voted against was because they just got the map the day before.
Oh.
And he was like, if you just would have given me more time, I may have been able to vote for this.
I respect that.
And so I was like, okay. I mean, I'm a little biased. I like his train of thought a lot of times.
I mean, I understand it. I don't.
And he's an attorney as well. So, he's looking, I believe that he looks at it in an unbiased nature. He's an independent, and so he's always known for, kind of calling balls and strikes. And so was it kind of rushed at this point? Okay.
But also we've been doing this for, as you pointed out earlier, we've been doing this for a long time. And this map is also, but these maps have been floated for a while. We saw projected maps I remember a while ago that were projected. So it can't be like, this is not a shock to anyone.
They tried this last session. They tried to go through a redistricting and they couldn't create a consensus to get it through anything. And so that's why the governor went ahead and did it this way and called a special session and had the map drawer be able to show his work. And so the map drawer went in front of the committee, the House and the Senate, and answered all of their questions. This guy was amazing to watch because he did not play into the party politics. He did not let anybody get his goat. He just was like, no, I don't know where you get that information from. These are the parameters that I drew this map by. And this is how it, and this is how, he came up with this district and that district and so on and so forth. And so he goes, it took him about 2 weeks. He gave the finished product to the governor's office, and the governor goes, I'm sending this over to the Senate to see if we can get approved and get this going. And that was really the process. So everybody followed the legal process to be able to get this done. It passed the House overwhelmingly, and it passed the Senate overwhelmingly.
And the governor signed.
And the governor signed yesterday.
And bada bing, bada boom, we are in a new district.
Right? And
magical what?
And 3 lawsuits have already been filed.
Oh, did they really? That was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
Have any lawsuits been filed?
yeah,
They're not
3.
going to, I don't know that they're going to be able to stop it.
They really can't, because there's no precedent. There's nothing. They can't prove. Like I said, if you just listen to the map creator, any judge is going to go, yeah, what you're saying doesn't align with anything he's saying. So.
Because they're saying what? It's.
Well, like,
what can they claim?
That it's racist, that
the
it's
state
biased.
Supreme Court just stated, like, it's not, how can it be racist?
Right, exactly. Well, that's the whole thing. And he's like, I didn't take those into parameters. Like, I took how it's supposed to be, based on population, compacted as much as possible, and to make it where it's as clean lined as possible, and to make sure that the natural boundaries were as true to the district that it was supposed to represent that it could. And he goes, he wasn't able to do that in some of the districts.
Well, there's one that's a little wonky, which is the one that goes all the way to Naples.
Which is 22. But if you think about it, 22, it covers the largest surface area, that's for sure.
But it's over the lakes and the Everglades and stuff, right?
Right. So there's this, so in order to get the compactness, you had to be able to create both populations on both sides to be able to get the 725,000 or whatever it is.
Interesting.
And so he had to be able to do that, and that was the best way to do it, because there was so much open land and that with minimal population. So it's like you have to, because
they didn't count Alligator Alcatraz.
No. I was like, well, I said District 22, we could go get the illegals to register to vote before they get deported. No, I didn't say that.
It was a joke, guys.
And so as you look at the state and you see the populated areas, you kind of see why District 22 then is spread kind of across the state, because of the aspects of the limited population, like out in, you have Pahokee and Belglade and all of that, where you have just a
and then in Leah, and then it hits the alligator. It hits Alligator Alley.
Right. And so, and then it does pick up Marco Island, Everglades City. There's a few small populated areas that aren't very populated.
Immokalee.
Yeah. Clewiston. It does cover Palm Beach County, Hendry County, Collier County. I think
Clark. Lee.
Part of Lee County. And some of
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just like the one that's like, all right, this is what we're gonna do with the rest.
Right. But still, if you look at District 22, it's still pretty clean lines. It's not as gerrymandered as like 20 was back, like where it's like
still pretty it's a pretty big, like, it's like this. It just kind of goes like that.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that I show the map so that you guys see.
I'm gonna look at it.
And what's really interesting is, so now we have a lot of people want to know, like, well, what happens now, right? You have these candidates that have been running in these districts, and now everything changes. Well, qualifying's not till June, so the candidates have an opportunity to change where they're running. And everything until June 12th. It doesn't mess with their campaign funds and things like that. It just transfers to the new
And they also
district
now, if they want to try to get qualified on the ballot with signatures, they can just go hog wild and get any resident in the state of Florida as registered voter in the entire state of Florida. So they can just run around and get signatures.
And that's something to pay attention to, because there are a few candidates out there that do look like they're going to qualify by collecting ballots, and that's huge, because that petitions, because it tells you that they actually are out in the community and they're actually trying
hoofing it
to do the work needed. So a few key things, as I know Jared Moskowitz, I think he came out and said today that he was going to run in 25.
Which he doesn't live in, for the record, which
right.
People move all the time.
Well,
or in Jared's case, he has a house in the district and he doesn't live there and he lives in not the district.
Well, for congressional, you do not have to live in the district until you are elected.
Right. Just saying. He doesn't live in the district.
I know.
He doesn't want to run in the 22
But
district.
in a lot of aspects is that, a lot of our candidates might be in this situation. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
It was what was really interesting, and Brian Mast's seat hardly changed. It didn't really change at all.
Is that 21? 21. Oh, up there. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting that he, kind of stayed the same. And then 23 is now encompassing our blue wall, which I think
they took the whole, squished all of it into one Democrat district that they're all just going to have to eat each other for.
Yes. So when you Josie and I have talked about this several times in past elections about this blue wall. It's east of 95 and it goes from the border of Delray up to West Palm. And it's just this blue impenetrable wall that this is what gets all of the Democrats in Palm Beach County elected, is because of this, because they're all encompassing this little part. And it concentrates the Democrats. And so is what this does is by moving this up. So 23 is now West Palm, and it's east of the, what is this?
Can you zoom in a little?
Yeah.
I want to say it goes up to Riviera Beach, doesn't it?
And,
She's spinning it.
Spinning it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it goes up to Riviera Beach, down to Delray. It goes west to the Turnpike, and then all the way east. So it was like, I'll show the maps. I'll put up the map. So this does encompass Mar-a-Lago and all of that. So my understanding is Lois Frankel is still going to run for that seat. You have Victoria Doyle that's running for that seat. She actually was at the Board of County Commission meeting today, and that woman is atrocious.
Who is she?
She's a Democrat. She's a trademark lawyer, I think she is. And I mean, she is just nasty. Like,
why was she at the commission meeting?
Back to badmouth President Trump about the...
Oh yeah. So we'll give you guys a little back. So today at the commission meeting, so in case anyone's missed it, the state legislature passed a law to change Palm Beach International Airport to be Donald J. Trump International Airport. Yeah. And so the county now has to do all of the process that they have to do because the county oversees that airport. So they have to go through all of the ordinance changes and the process changes and all that stuff. So that came to a vote today. They really couldn't vote against it and not pass it. They would open themselves. It was
a licensing agreement to use the name Donald J. Trump.
Right.
So that was really what it was about. It was about making sure that the county was protected and had all their ducks in a row so that Donald J. Trump's estate or whatever in the future can't come after and get royalty rights or anything like that.
It was important, but it was a formality. Like, they couldn't vote. If they voted against it, the state's going to be like, no, you have to do this.
They threatened to withhold DOT funding.
Exactly. So it kind of had to pass. So all the people showing up today were just performative, and the people who voted against it were also performative.
Yeah. I mean, there was only 20 public comments on the actual agenda item once it came to, when it came to the vote. And, Greg Weiss basically, that's commissioner of District 2, he basically tried to run up the clock. Not that that's such a thing, but just asking like ridiculous question after ridiculous question, like he was campaigning really hard. And the thing of it is that if he wants to be mayor of West Palm Beach, he's going to have to tone down a little bit, in my personal opinion.
I am actually very curious how many of those Democrats, I mean, I can imagine 2 of them for sure are hardcore Democrats, but like, really, like, how hardcore are we? Like, really? You really wanted Kamala Harris to be our president? Like, come on. Like, none of them are like insane Democrats. Well, one might be. Flores might be a little insane.
Maybe.
But just saying, I don't know. I just find it interesting that they're all like, and they're probably all like, yes, watching their stock portfolios shoot sky high.
Right. Well,
pretending they're not the elites.
So somebody told me that they saw Joe Abruzzo having lunch with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago the other day.
Oh, they're buddies.
Yeah.
They're so buddies. Apparently, you know, the tea is that there was an event Friday night, and there was a bunch of electeds, Republican and Democrat, all sitting around the same table. And President Trump was like acknowledging each one and shouting them out, all except Mayor Baxter. She was the only one who didn't get a shout out.
I heard that. That's very interesting.
I don't know why. Just saying. I think it's interesting. He shouted out Bradshaw. He shouted out Abruzzo. He shouted out Marino. I guess Marino and Eric are like golf buddies. So he talked about them being golf buddies. And yeah.
I just think that, I mean, we have
And he's endorsed her.
Yeah.
She's endorsed. She has his endorsement for re-election in the primary. I don't know. I just find it interesting. That's my tea. That's all I have to say. I'm just reporting the news. You can think what you want.
Good point.
You can conclude however you would like.
Yeah, I mean, and not for nothing, Mayor Baxter was campaigning pretty hard today, too, in my personal opinion.
She clipped it and posted it all over social media before the meeting. The meeting was hardly over. And I was like, why are you on my Instagram with this? I'm not even in your district. I don't even think I followed her.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
That was very interesting at the county commission meeting when it came to talking about the changing PBI to DJT, and they released.
Just makes me laugh.
They
don't know why.
Released the official logo today about President, and the thing of it is the name President is in it, so it's President Donald J. Trump International Airport.
So is it going to be DJT as the call letters, or is it going to be PDT?
No, I'm pretty sure it's DJT.
I also heard that they're changing Dulles. Is that true?
I don't know.
That's a rumor I heard too.
Could be.
That Dulles is also going to get a rename to be. We're going to have Reagan and Trump airports in D.C. What a time to be alive, man.
Right?
What a timeline that we live in.
So
I laugh a lot.
So
and then I cry.
Right.
Then I laugh again.
Well, sometimes we have to laugh.
Well, you know, Rubio doing the waka 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 on the DJ definitely made me giggle.
Did you see the thing with I know we don't talk about national news a lot.
I know, sorry.
Marco Rubio was like pretending to be like the press secretary.
He walked in like the press secretary and the whole room started laughing. And then I saw that. He stood up there. He's like, he's like,
I want to play. I'm playing a joke on the president. Play along. Give me an hour. Give me an hour before you release it.
I'm sure he would be an amazing press secretary.
So he's so funny. Everybody says like he's the funniest guy. So, and I just love that he's a Florida boy.
He's not just a Florida boy. He's like a South Florida boy.
Yeah.
He's a 305er.
Yeah, that's for sure. So,
which we now share. Sorry, going back to this. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
I just realized that we now share a district with Broward and Miami.
22, yeah.
25.
Oh, 25. Yes. So that's the hot district that everybody's talking about is 25.
Let's talk about it for a second.
So 25 runs from the end of which was 23 that I talked about to Delray. So Delray south to Miami, and it's all the coast. So this is like really a hot district. So it's
a very Republican district.
It's a very Republican district because you've got Lighthouse Point, you've got Boca Raton, you've got Aventura, exactly. You have
Bell Harbor.
I
think Bell Harbor's in that. I have to look exactly where it ends.
It ends in Miami. It ends Miami Beach or just south of Miami.
Then Bell Harbor. Where else?
Doesn't want me to zoom in.
There you go. Sorry, guys. The most flattering angle to give you here. It encompasses all of Miami Beach.
Biscayne Bay.
So the barrier island, Biscayne Bay. So it's on the barrier island because see, it meets up against there where the other district is that goes over the land.
Yeah.
So it's the barrier island, and then all the way up,
over.
it's the barrier island.
Yeah. North Bay, North Miami Beach. So there's
that
this is a very
money district. Holy
this is a very red
shnikes.
district. And so you have, from what I understand, the candidates that have announced that they're going to run in 25 is George Moritas, Scott Singer, and Joe Kaufman. As far as
Who have declared.
right,
Moskowitz is said maybe.
Moskowitz says that it's leaning towards 25, but nothing.
And Wasserman
officially
Schultz
is considering between 25 and 22, from what I hear.
let her go against Lois. Oh wait, no.
No,
This one's 22 again now.
22 would be it. 22 is technically a new district.
Okay.
So there's no incumbent. There's nothing. It's an open seat. It's going to lean Republican. Probably by close to 10 points would be my guess.
Yeah, because you got Naples and stuff over there.
Correct.
South Naples.
And so you just have it's spread out, and yes, you have Palm Beach, but the what the residency consists of are very like people, because if you've ever been to that part of the state, the Naples and South area is very comparable to like our Wellington and
it's true.
So there's not really
They're different than the coastal people.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with this district. I know Michael Carbone has declared to run in 22. David Burke has declared to run in 22.
Okay, so David Burke, he was the one that was running in the same 22 before against Frankel, so he's moving to this. He's going with this 22.
Correct.
Where's Lois going?
Well, Lois would probably do 23. She's the most likely to win there because it's still technically would lean blue, but it's only going to be like a D+5 if that.
That's risky.
So if you have a good candidate in 23, and my understanding is Dan Francis is going to be in 23, is running in 23.
What about Ademi?
I don't know if he's officially declared that, but he is still promoting that he's running against Lois. And everything that I've heard is that Lois is gonna be would change to then District 23 to run.
Ooh-wee.
Ademi, my understanding is she's on the fence. She's not sure what she wants to do. So we'll see.
It's gonna get spicy.
Because of the fact that it splits West Palm Beach and it takes West Palm Beach out of it, it makes it a little bit more difficult for like your Debademi and your.
It makes it, yeah. It makes it a little more of a game.
Yeah,
it's a little more of a game now.
Well, and that's the thing is, people are like, some people are like, oh, this is changing and it's just before, like this is going to confuse people. I actually think that this is going to be an exciting draw for people to come out for the midterms because they're going to be like, oh, this is new. This is a new playing field. Everybody's on the same,
Yeah, it levels the playing field. Yeah, exactly.
You might know, who some of these people are. That's true. But the district boundaries are different. So it's like, it really comes down to the game of politics, and that's getting people out to vote for you. And it's going to come down to turnout, and it's going to come down to
messaging. Authenticity and messaging. I'm sorry if you've supported Democrats your entire time in elected office, you cannot call yourself an America First candidate. Just saying, you're not authentic. Someone who's high on their own supply. I'm not naming any names yet
today.
So just saying, take it for what it's worth. You don't get to do that. People can see through you.
Yeah. So the big takeaway here is Sheila McCormick lost her seat because she resigned just before this all happened. So she was going to be out regardless. And then Debbie Wasserman Schultz lost her district as well. So we just, we kicked two Democrats to the curb by kind of doing this and holding Sheila McCormick accountable for her fraud actions. she resigned before she got tossed is basically what happened.
Hopefully she still gets criminal prosecution. But
yeah. My understanding is that she did file to run in 20 before the district changed. So I don't know if she was still planning on running for re-election after she resigned or what her thought process was. But it's going to be very interesting. So you have this big chunk of, the Republican candidates for District 20 was Rod Joseph and Sandra Dorsey. And I want to say maybe there was one other one.
But 20 is now... Where's 20? Yeah, it's now much more inland.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and you
it's
have
just
Tamarack and Coconut Creek and Lauderhill and...
Maybe John Brody will run.
I actually...
John Brody, we're calling you.
I
Calling on John Brody.
I know, I was like, oh, is 22 in Coconut Creek? But it's just kind of outside of it. So the northern part, probably just outside of
For our
city
newer
limits.
listeners, John Brody was a previous guest on our show. He's a commissioner in Coconut Creek, and he was a phenomenal guest. If you ever wanting to go back and just learn about how to run a local campaign, he did a phenomenal job running for election, running in a pretty heavy opposition type area, and he was a phenomenal guest that we had on, and former guest of our show. And so yeah, if he were to run, that would be exciting.
Yeah. And what was awesome too is that I found out that District 22 Congress connects now State House 87, which Drew Montez Clark is running for in the Naples area. 82 is 82.
I don't know who that is.
He was the chiropractor that ran against Sheila McCormick last cycle.
Oh, I liked him. And his
wife.
They had the most adorable children.
Like 5 girls, and they were just a great family. And
I
just
remember him.
People,
yes,
so.
That's right. The name sounded familiar, but it took me a minute. I had to go back in my Rolodex. In my brain. That would be great. I think I very much hope that he runs for something. I think he'd be a phenomenal candidate. I think he'd be a great Surgeon General. For the state of Florida, for our next governor, if he has to get a new one. I don't know how that works. They think they can keep them, right? Never mind. We'll just keep our Surgeon General. You run.
Well, talking about Surgeon General makes me think of Attorney General. And so it's very interesting that DeSantis did all of this, and now many people are talking about him for the Attorney General for the country.
Yep. I've seen that. I've also seen SCOTUS floated. I don't know what that would do to our state. What happens?
I think
we can't have a special election in the same year we're having the election. They would just so the lieutenant governor becomes acting governor.
Yeah.
Until the election. Okay.
Yeah.
We will. I mean, we don't have any more sessions except for our budget session, which so the state still has not produced a budget.
So the budget special session is scheduled for May 12th through the 29th.
Yes.
And from what I understand, the president sent it Albright.
Yeah, Albright.
He said that it looks like they're good to go. It's not going to be.
Well, that's good because some of us wait for that.
So we'll see. Also, there was some contention with the Board of County Commissioners today because the $5.5 million cost that it is going to be to change the name from PBI to DJT is coming from the state. And so Commissioner Weiss was like, well, that's not guaranteed. And they were like, well, it's in the budgets for this year. Well, they haven't passed the budget. So basically saying
for tying it all back to our stuff, that money then becomes part of our 2026, 2027 budget because it's passed through money.
That's
so
true.
You're going to see our local budget, state budget, county budget increase by that $5.5 million because it's going to be passed through money. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Absolutely. 100%. Good point. And so anyway, that's I thought that was interesting that I was like, oh, you're going to kind of play that game saying that it's not part of the budget because
it hasn't been signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah. Okay. And then, it was like, I can't remember who it said. Was it Mayor Baxter that said, well, I can't believe that they would do this and not pay for it. And I was a little upset that she said that because I was like, we have a lot of unfunded mandates.
Yeah,
from
that
the
happens
state.
all the time.
So
There's
I wouldn't
so
really
many.
say that.
Yeah.
That's not really accurate.
No, I was talking to Abby recently about something else, and I was asking how she's doing. Abby was a former host on our show. Shout out. She started with us. Miss Abby, shout out. Love you, Abby. And she was saying, what did she say? She said that there is a bill that was passed that if the governor signs it, she didn't get into too much detail because we didn't have long to talk, but if the governor signs it, it's basically going to force them to cut their budget by 25%. And they already have, like, she's the commissioner of Lighthouse Point. They already have a very, like, small budget. Like, it's because of unfunded mandates. It's going to cost them, it's either going to make them cut or cost them 25% of their budget to cover what the state is requiring.
Wow.
And yeah, she's like, I'm not sure what we're going to do. And then if property taxes go away, Lighthouse Point is in big trouble because they don't really have a lot of revenue.
Well, on the property tax front, I heard Governor DeSantis say yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that, you know, he wants it where if you move here from New York, you don't get a free pass.
Praise the Lord.
So I was happy to hear that. He's like, if you move here, like, you should have to pay something for X number of years or something like that. So I really loved hearing that aspect.
At least
of
it's
it.
something, because we've all been saying that. How, like, then we're gonna get, people are just gonna move here like crazy, and then.
Well, Mandani is already taxing them out completely, so they're looking for places to go.
I mean, it'll be cheaper here than New York for sure,
Right,
but they don't
right.
get to come here and then just build, like, take what we've built in living in this state and paying taxes for all our lives.
Right. And I think I even mentioned a few episodes ago, I'm like, I would be kind of upset if somebody bought a house and then, you know, didn't have to pay into anything when the people who have been here for decades have been basically paying, you know, property taxes every day, you know, or every year. So for somebody new, I would love to see it like 5 years or
10.
Something like that.
10.
Or maybe 5 years and phase out over the next 5 years, something like that. And then, you know, that it makes it a little bit more fair and still then allows funding to come into our municipalities and our county by paying something. And so property taxes is going to be a big deal. A lot of our representatives and stuff are gonna, you know, be asked questions about it. Any candidates are gonna be asked questions about it, I'm sure.
I hope.
But the thing of it is that it's gonna be on the ballot. So if it's gonna be on the ballot, then there's really not much that they can do or say, and it kind of puts them in a tough spot because at the end of the day, nobody wants to pay property taxes. Nobody wants to pay anything. You know?
So I teach online Hebrew school, and we have our last class today, and we were talking about in Leviticus, in our Torah talk, we were talking about in Leviticus, they have what's called the year that God gave to the Israelites, what's called the year of Jubilee, where the debts are wiped away and slaves are freed and all this stuff. And one of my kids raises his hand and he goes, that would be great if we could have that and all the taxes go away. And I was like, oh, okay. Sure. And we like,
how old was he?
He's like 10 or 11.
Oh my gosh.
11. Probably 11.
And wants
10 or 11.
taxes to go away.
Wants taxes to go away.
At
So
11 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you know, my kids would say the same.
Right.
I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. So I kind of had to take a slight detour into talking about, like, I tried not to make it political at all. I just wanted to keep it very civic. And I took like a slight detour on like what taxes fund, what types of taxes there are. There's federal income tax, there's property. Well, because then one of the other kids pipes up because they live in Illinois. He's like, my parents say that our taxes are the highest in the country, even higher than New York. And I'm like, where do you live again? He tells me. I'm like, yeah, possibly. And here's why: because you live, you know, we have federal income tax that everyone pays, state income tax that some states pay, and then you have property taxes. And so I kind of gave them a breakdown on the taxes, and then I was talking about how, you know, it says in the New Testament where it said that render to Caesar what is Caesar's and what to God what is God's. And so I was like, so we have a model for, we do have that we are called to follow these laws, what the government says. However, we are the government. Our right. Constitution gives us the power to make the decisions for who is in our government and who gets to decide these things for us. And if they're not making good decisions, we need to take them out. So when you guys grow up to be responsible voters, these are questions that you should ask.
You planted a seed. Those are future presidents.
I will take it. I was like, okay, and out of the civics, back to the Torah. Out of civics, back to Torah, guys. Yeah. So I probably should email all the parents and be like, just so you guys know, this is what happened. We had a slight civics lesson tonight in class. But yeah, so anyway, I thought it was a fun story to share.
No, definitely. That's hilarious.
Taxes. Can we get rid of taxes in the year of Jubilee?
Oh. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, child. That would sound great.
One thing I do want to mention is when at the county commission, Representative Skidmore had a lot to say.
Skidmore?
Yeah. So
Skidmore? What's her name?
Skidmore. She's
Kelly, right?
Yeah, District 92. So she's west of like West Boca, West El Rey.
She butts up against Peggy's district.
Yeah. And so I mean, like, she was calling Trump a pedophile and a felon.
Oh,
and
that's what Mayor Baxter was addressing.
Yes, and she went
clip.
over her time, and Mayor Baxter told her several times, Representative, that's enough. You need to stop. That's enough. Please stop. Please stop. The deputy got right up behind her and was like ready for like the mayor to be like, get her out. Like, she was bad. And from what I understand, somebody had words with her. So I'm going to check to see how that went. Who had words?
Like
I'm not going to tell you. But
from the board?
No. A Republican representative had words with her.
After this.
What
representative? Come on.
I'm not going to tell you. So,
giving me tea, not giving me the whole tea.
So, I know, but it's not my story to tell, and I don't know what was said. So I just
I respect that.
Yeah. So I do know, like, she did not walk out of there thinking that she had won. And what was so awesome is I actually saw good Republicans stand up, state their case, give the receipts, and actually look and sound better than the Democrats.
Yes, on this
issue.
Ooh.
So you had Eric Weinberger there. You had Caroline Wren came and spoke. For those that don't know who Caroline Wren is, she was Carrie Lake's campaign manager when she ran for governor. And Caroline Wren, she's on War Room with Bannon all the time, and she has like a consulting firm or something, I think, out of DC. But she lives in Lake Park, and so she was part of the Lake Clark Shores. She was part of District 20. She was talking on War Room how, she's like, I live in this district that like comes all the way across, just this one little section of the populated county. But anyway, my point is that we actually had Republicans show up and kind of give the receipts and say, like, Donald J. Trump, regardless what the Democrats want to say, there's no money for him in this. He doesn't get any royalties. He doesn't get, and it was funny because Commissioner Weiss was like, well, what about all of our logoed materials and stuff that people can buy that have like the PBI logo and stuff on? And the airport woman that runs the airport, she was like, we don't have that. And he's like, well, all the things that say like, Palm Beach International Airport. And she goes, no, all of the vendors and stuff that have like Palm Beach merchandise, stuff. It's like Palm Beach County or just Palm Beach. She goes, we don't sell anything that has the PBI logo on it. We have some like giveaway stuff. Well, how much is that? She's like, we spend about like $50,000 a year on marketing materials of like giving out pens and like stress balls type stuff that may have the PBI logo on it. Well, what happens to that stuff? Does it just get thrown away? And she was like, well, I'd hope not. I would have no intention of throwing it away.
Just give it away until you run out of it.
Just give it away.
Just like any other branding change. Like, oh my gosh, what a goofball.
So it was like, it was very interesting how like uninformed even our own commissioners were. And then it was very clear. And Patrick Rutter was so great.
He's a county administrator.
I do believe he's a Republican, if I remember right. I'm not classifying him there, but anyway, he was very clear. So when he came to talk about it, he was like, the name is done. We can't do anything about the name. We can't change anything about the name. The name has already happened at a state level. I want to be very clear. We can't do anything about that. And
This is what we're here to do.
And this is just the licensing agreement to make sure that the county is protected against anything that, may happen in the future regarding the naming. And so it was great. It was set up perfect, flawless. They had like an overflow room, but there was only 20 cards that of people that talked about on this item. And so they did do a little recess from 11 to noon. And I have a feeling a lot of people left because they didn't want to wait that hour. So whether that was strategic or, if that happened strategically or not, I don't know. But I did find that kind of interesting. So
Interesting.
The other thing that happened on in the county level is the school zone cameras that were being considered.
Oh, yes.
It was very interesting because I think this was like the second ordinance reading to be able to start to put this into place. So the flock red light or the speeding cameras, I guess they are. They're not red light cameras, but they're cameras set up outside of selected school zones that if you go 11 miles over the speed limit during the school zone time frame, which is before school and after school, you would get a ticket if you went 11 miles over the speed limit. Well, what happens is that it takes a picture of the license plate and then it mails you a ticket. So most people would then just pay the ticket and move on. Well, then there's a lot of people that are like, well, prove that I drove the car, that I was in it, that I did it. Well, the car's registered to you. Well, it's registered to me, but my mechanic may have been driving it. My daughter may have been driving it. My husband or my wife may have been I let my second cousin's daughter's best friend borrow my car that
Friend
day.
from out of town. I mean,
Right. And so, there's so many things and ways to be able to fight something like this. And so our commissioners, and it was bipartisan, it was across the line. They each had problems and issues. The big thing was the surveillance aspects of it, and that some of these school zone cameras, I don't know if it's across the state or across the country, have been in these situations where they were running this outside of the school times and making it for the whole school day and sending out tickets and things of that nature. So
that's sketchy.
It was like they then, kind of went above and beyond. And so it's like, a lot of the point was, well, if an officer needs to ticket somebody if they're speeding. So why don't we have officers outside of each school zone to protect our kids and to make sure that people are being held accountable? And so the group effort and the conversation between the commissioners was very interesting because it all kind of came into a synopsis that they didn't like the fact that there was pending litigation. There's a couple lawsuits already. There's some gray area in the legislation that may need to be able to be changed for any of this to happen. So the thing of it is that these cameras then would be put for the provider, so there's really no cost to the county, and that's the draw, right? And then they get a portion of the ticket, fines or whatever. And then it keeps the kids safe. And so the commissioners actually kind of vetoed the whole ordinance altogether and actually dismissed it and canceled it and said, nope, we're not doing this. So instead of progressing it to the next level, like everybody thought that they were going to do,
more cameras probably to more schools and stuff,
and basically making it okay. As soon as the legality aspects are cleaned up, this will go into effect. And they were like, nope, we're going to nix it all together. And I think that was 4-3 or 5-2, if I'm not mistaken, of nixing it all together. And so there will be no in unincorporated Palm Beach County.
Unincorporated. So now the next step is to go to the city councils
Right.
Which
Boynton has already implemented this, from my understanding.
implemented the Ixnay or has the cameras?
Has the cameras.
Yeah, so does Boca.
Yeah.
I know because they put them in at the beginning of the school year because I live in like 3 school zones crisscross around my house. So depending on what time of day you leave, you're in trouble. You just avoid that turn. But they were putting them in with big signs that say, like, you know. But what's crazy is one of them is almost the light where, because, you know, it flashes when during school zone time to let you know, okay, now you watch it. There's a big tree there that the city does not nobody takes care of, and it's almost covered. You can hardly see it. So if someone
That's entrapment.
That's what I'm saying. I guarantee you the city's going to get sued over it.
Didn't somebody say that in the meeting that there was a camera that was covered and you couldn't even see it?
Well, so it's not the cameras. I don't know. I'm just saying in this case, it's the warning light to let you know that it's a school zone and that you're being, like, it doesn't have, you can't see the warning light very well. It does say it in other places, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. It's interesting. I will say Commissioner Tom Turkin spoke at the county commission today about the PBI name change. So he represented us very well. And I'm trying to think who else. Meg Weinberger had both of her aides there to discuss, that she, did this bill and pushing it forward. So it was interesting. It was good to kind of see our county commission kind of really work together on a few things. And you can really see the nonpartisan stuff in there as far as like how they're able to come together with things like this. And they may not always agree, and it may be, like a 5-2 or a 4-3 vote.
Who were the dissenting votes? Do you remember? For the PBI to DJT?
Weiss, Flores, and Powell.
Okay, and then what about for the school zone? You remember that one? I'm just curious.
Same, I believe.
Interesting.
Weiss really wanted the cameras.
Well, he's from California, so.
What's her name wasn't there, but she was voting.
Sachs.
Sachs wasn't there.
So she was voting by proxy?
Yeah. Well, she was on the phone.
They can do that?
If the mayor allows and they vote on it, it's allowed.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I vaguely remember that during COVID because one of the commissioners quit showing up. Her health. I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. I went to commission meetings every 2 weeks for 4 or 5 months, and I not once saw her there. So, and I think they talked about her conferencing, but I don't think she wanted to.
That's interesting.
That was Sachs's predecessor. So I think an interesting point to talk about real quick, because I've been asked this, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, is if the redistricting for this congressional process trickles down to any other races, and it does not this year. So because we're not in a redistricting year, it's only congressional maps. But I do think it will be, and I also, from my understanding, the non-racial gerrymandering new ruling by SCOTUS also only applies to congressional maps. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was my understanding from listening to commentary on it. But I do think what will happen, because we have some seriously gerrymandered commission districts, school board districts here in Palm Beach County, like real bad. And so I do think that we will probably see over the next year or two before we go into redistricting in the next decade in 2030, which is insane. Sorry, can we just pause for a second? Like, we're already talking about redistricting. The next redistricting, it feels like we just finished the 2020 redistricting. Right? Like, this is crazy. But that I'll be willing to bet that there will be some lawsuits against the state, against the county commission. So each governing body gets to determine its own districts. Yep. So the county commission draws its own maps and votes on it. The school board draws their maps and votes on it. The House and the Senate draw their maps and vote on them. I believe the governor weighs in on that, but basically each governing body. So it'll have to go by body by body, governing body by governing body, for a lawsuit to say, hey, county commission, you're gerrymandering by race, and therefore that's going against the SCOTUS ruling. And so
District 7.
Therefore, Therefore, there's going to be lawsuits. So it's going to take some time for the trickle down to happen from this federal level and the congressional level to the local level. But I think we should be on the lookout for lawsuits that might come in and stuff that will come in to impact the maps for the 2030 cycle. And I think it'll be very interesting to see how that shakes out because, yeah. And then another fun note to note, I was reading, I had a friend text me yesterday. Not yesterday. Wait, what's today? Today's Tuesday. Sorry. Today is Tuesday. So yeah, yesterday, because there was the Greater Beaches and Parks meeting for Boca, about a skate park. So we have North Park, which is over by Boca Chica, the old golf course up there, which was purchased by the Greater Beaches and Parks District to be created into a beautiful, the renderings are amazing, park with tracks and trails and playgrounds and a pool, field house. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And they purchased this park. They purchased the land like 3 or 4 years ago, the renderings, and there's just been problem after problem after problem with getting it moved forward. And so a big thing that happened, as everyone knows in the city, was the Save Boca, because they wanted to develop a certain area, and they were going to there was a skate park there, and the skate park really needs to be renovated. It's really old, or it needs to be something done with it. And it's not very big. And so they decided, regardless of what happens with the Save Boca thing, they were going to move the skate park and build a new facility in the North Park. And so that the contract went before the Beaches and Parks yesterday. And so my friend, her kids are skaters, and she was like asking me about it because she doesn't live in the city. So she's like asking me, can I go to this? How does this work? And so I explained it all to her. So then I go on Nextdoor, which is never a good idea, but I'm always curious to see what's happening. And there's these big say no to development, show up at the beaches and parks. They want to put a skate park in. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people are insane. Like, they don't want anything. I am pretty sure the people will not be happy until Boca goes back to being a retirement community.
Right.
And therefore dies eventually. Because if you do not have young people coming into the community and families and bringing life into the community, it literally becomes the villages, which is great. The villages are doing great, but that is not what brings tax. I mean, anyway. So, because they got the people in Boca Chica got the wave park, the surf park shut down, and now they want to shut down the skate park. So I'm trying to find out if it passed. I'll post in our socials because.
Well, it was really funny.
Our green space that's not even open to there's nothing there. It's an old golf course that just has to have the grass cut.
We moved to Boca in 2027.
2027?
Or I'm sorry, 2007. Oh my God. 2007. We moved to Boca. And I remember when we first moved to like the city, within the city limits of Boca, is that it was like after 8:00, like there was nothing.
The sidewalks roll up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like, I'm like, where in the heck did we move to? Like
the retirement community.
I'm like restaurants were like dead at like 8:30, like I am like, where, like, and we were a young family. I'm like, what do we do? Where do we go? Oh my God. But, so it's like, I would have loved to have a little bit more,
things to do. And I'm not saying we need to like develop every corner. I love parks and I love nature. Boca used to be called the city within a park.
Yeah.
And so I'm all for that, but they just want a golf course. Like the Boca Chica people want to live on a golf course, because when they bought their condos 50 years ago, they lived on a golf course, but it wasn't their golf course.
Right, but the golf course wasn't salvageable, and
they think that it can come back.
What makes you think?
Jessica, if I knew that answer to that question, we wouldn't need a sponsor for the podcast.
There's so many other options for golf that I just don't see that being
No, they just want their view of a golf course.
But they don't want to pay for it.
No. They want us to pay for it.
Right. So that they get to see a golf course.
I have a friend, I think I talked about this, but I have a friend, when it was happening not the wave park, the surf park, they literally said, we don't want to hear the sound of children laughing. They don't want to hear the sound of children laughing. That's sad.
That's the best sound in the world.
It's the most sad thing to think, like, I don't want, and I understand overdevelopment, but these are not overdevelopment. This is like things that people will get to do and have things to do in our city. Like, there's just, like, I was
like
looking
Boynton Beach.
I was looking at lists of things, like upcoming events and stuff for different things, and I was like, man, Delray is happening, Boynton is happening, Boca's got a night market that the last one is Thursday, and that ends. That's it. That's it.
It's done.
Done. We're done for the summer. We got nothing till October, and then it'll be night markets, which just sounds great. I love the idea of a night market. It's a lot of fun, but like,
yeah, that's interesting.
we pay the most. We pay a lot of money to live here.
Right. I get
Why
it.
don't we have things?
Right. I get it. You know, speaking of Boynton Beach, they had, it was really cool because the mayor and the city commission put on a state of the city event, and they had, I don't know how I didn't get tickets and I didn't know about it. I'm gonna complain about that, but they did this whole presentation just the other afternoon and talked about like the state of the city and what they have done to improve the city in all aspects. And so they, you know, had videos about, you know, like construction projects and talking to residents and talking to workers within the city. And it was really about the emphasis on that Boynton is doing so well and is so attractive because they have really focused on safety. They're the only this is what the mayor said, that they're the only municipality in Palm Beach County that is fully staffed right now as far as public safety
It's
goes.
very possible. I don't think Boca's is.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, and I know that was something that Commissioner Tom Turkin was really pushing for, you know, his first term in office was making sure that our police department was staffed. And then their emphasis on beautification, you know, things look good, things, you know, are enticing. It kind of makes it where the criminals don't want to come and, you know, cause their riffraff, you know. So it's really about, you know, beautification and making sure that they were focused on smart development, not just development. You know, where is it needed? Where is it workforce housing? Is it, you know, how
Commissioner Turkin moved to Boca and run in Boca.
right? He's already looking at higher aspirations, so we'll see.
Just saying, could use some of that in Boca.
Yeah.
I was crap show. It's a crap show. Although
For
I
sure.
did hear good things about our city manager did like hold like a listening session and stuff. So I think he's really trying hard to.
He's doing like town halls or something.
Yeah.
Let's Talk
He's doing
Boca or
Let's Talk
something.
Boca. So he's really trying to right the ship. I wasn't able to go. I had something else happening that night already scheduled, but I will try to go to the next one. But so he is really trying to right the ship. But, you know, it also just depends on the navigation that he's given by our city council. And, you know, they're going to pass this ordinance, I think, that's going to really, really cripple the city. So... and it's insane because if you speak out against it, like the mob comes after you. Like one of this new councilwomen was like, no, maybe we should see about what nonprofits are going to be impacted. Let's get some more information before we vote on this. And she got a death threat. Yeah. And so then at the next council meeting, she's like, I actually don't really want to say much because I don't want to get me and my daughter to have another death threat. Yeah. So,
well, for one, you can't be like that. You can't.
No, well, of course
censor
not.
yourself
She needs
because
to.
of that.
I agree, but I'm just like, this is Boca.
Yeah.
Everyone needs. So it's like, so if you speak out against these people, this loud conglomerate, and the crazy thing is you have this city councilman who's still sending out all these emails, all these Save Boca emails, definitely breaking sunshine, and like. And he's like, this people have spoken. 12,000 people signed this. And I was like, okay, so I signed the petition. I regret my signature on the petition. How many other people regret their signature on that stupid petition? And there's 100,000 residents in this city. 12,000 is not even 20%.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to say that all the residents want this? Like, you can't say that. Like, it's just absolute insanity that's happening in Boca. And that's all I got to say on it. Just pray for us, y'all. It's going to be a rough year.
Well, 2027 is just around the corner.
Oh, it's around the corner. Well, and also we're going to have an open seat because Yvette is going
Yep.
to have to resign. So that's going to be an appointed seat, which that could be a hot mess express too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
So
know,
there's
man.
a lot of things going on, but it is quiet time right now. So right now you have until July 20th to register to vote or change your party affiliation to Republican so you can vote in our August 18th primaries. So keep that in mind. I think that's going to be kind of a focus that I'm going to be on is I'm going to just kind of focus on the simplicity of elections going forward. We just need to get more votes than the other guy, and we need to make sure that we're getting out the vote and educating people on the process. And I think that the more information that comes out about redistricting and who's going to be in the playing field, I think it's going to excite some people, and we might have some really good turnouts hopefully these midterms. We have lots of school board positions. What is it? 3, 4, and 7 are on the ballot this year. So we have an opportunity to flip the school board. That's huge. So there's a lot of things that we are going to be paying attention to, but also at the same time, keep it simple, stupid. It's just really about getting people excited to vote and getting them educated to make sure that they're making an educated vote.
Educated.
Anything you want to follow up with, Josie, before we end?
I don't think so. I think just a reminder that we're doing once a month now. And so this is our monthly broadcast. And are you going to talk about May 20th?
You go ahead. If you want.
Okay. So one of the reasons that we've done that is because as we get closer to election, things will pick up. And we're both very involved in elections and very busy. We want to make sure that we're able to keep all the plates spinning. But one of the things that we're adding in is the resurrection of the Judeo-Christian Republican Club. And we are going to be hosting, or we're going to be facilitating the first kickoff meeting, which is going to be April 20th at the South.
May 20th.
May 20th. Gosh, it's been a long day. At the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach.
The Dr.
The Dr. Andre Flidell
Civic
Center. Formerly known as the South County Civic Center,
That's
since
right.
I was a child,
Yeah.
and it'll take me probably another 30 years to remember that's what it's called. Civic Center at 6. What time is we starting?
Doors open at 6:15. We're going to have a networking event where you're going to be able to mingle and talk to candidates. We're going to invite all of the candidates and stuff there. So from 6:15 to 7 p.m., there's going to be a built-in networking hour. So
Yes.
if you have questions for candidates, if you are a candidate and interested in setting up a table, reach out to us. And I think it's going to be really exciting. And then we're going to have great speakers this year and really just kind of put forth and connect our Judeo and Christian values and educating people on the electoral process and how that works, and just really helping people get involved and having the same core purpose, which is bringing it back to the simplicity of our Constitution and that our rights are given by God, not government.
That's right, because we are the government.
That's right.
We should
That's
call
right.
it. If we ever do another podcast, we should call it "We Are the Government."
Yeah, that's good.
I know, that's really good.
Yeah,
Write that one
very
down.
good.
Yeah, so that's it. So come out and see us there. That'll be essentially we're going to be doing once a month podcast and once a month.
And I'm sure we're going to probably have a guest on soon.
Yeah, once we
think
start getting the
with all of
candidates
this,
situated.
Yeah, candidates are kind of up in the air with not knowing where they're going to run, and qualifying's not over.
Exactly.
And then, we have, many Republicans running against other Republicans. And so it's just a little crazy. Once the field kind of settles down, we'll have a few guests on. I do want to do like a special taxing district segment. Maybe we can do a bonus episode on that in the next coming months. I think
so keep out. Subscribe. You get some bonus episodes.
Those are important because those are on the ballot in August, and a lot of people don't understand what those are.
Like the Greater Beaches and Parks District.
Right. Exactly. Indian Trails District, the Port of Palm Beach, like all of these little people are like, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
But yet I pay 3 point something mils to the Beaches and Parks District plus my beach pass.
Yes, Josie. She's not going to be happy until she gets a free beach pass.
No, I won't be happy until we all who pay
that's
into
right.
the district get a beach pass.
That's right.
Because we already paid for it.
That's right.
Okay.
That's true. 100%. So you can follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at We The Locals or We The Locals FL. Our website is WeTheLocalsPodcast.com. On our website, you can subscribe. You'll get all of the notifications when our episodes drop or any detailed information. You'll be able to get the first to know. You get the links first as well, so that you can watch the episodes as soon as they drop. You can check out our sponsorship opportunities on our website. There's links to our channels, so you can watch all of our past episodes. You can email us if you have any questions about our show, anything that we've mentioned, any of our sponsorship opportunities. You can email us at WeTheLocalsFL@gmail.com. Have a great night, everybody, and be sure to stay local.
Bye.
Bye.